Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Jim.
We're live.
We are live, mate. And Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 2nd of December, and we've been a little bit, well, not slack. We've been busy, so hence we didn't do an update last week, Andrew. But
Jim. It was
we, are
a busy
now,
week.
we are here now, my friend. And how are you going?
Yeah, good. No, it's been a really, really busy week, and what a month last month was, right? So, an incredible end to the month on Saturday. We had some really good auctions. We had a total of five, but six for the week. So we had a midweek auction plus five on Saturday, and more importantly, they all sold and they all got really good results as well, which is good. But it was a fantastic month. You and I were speaking about the numbers yesterday, but what were they again? What do we end up doing for the month, Jim?
We finished up, October. If we reflect back to when we were able to start trading again, which was the 29th of September, we ended up October with 46 sales, and we did exactly the same in November. We ended up with 46 sales, and our property management team did really well with 45 lettings, albeit we've noticed that property management tenant applications or new applications have softened a little bit. They've softened somewhat over the last sort of 10, 12 days, and there's some really good rental stock available and prices have been adjusted. There's no hiding the fact that there's been an increase in supply in rental properties across the area, so prices have had to adjust a little bit. But hats off to the property managers. They've been working really hard. The sales, Andrew, 46 is a number that we're happy with. We always prefer a few more, obviously, but we're certainly happy with that.
I think it's a great result.
Yeah. But look, the standout thing was that we had, and we've spoken about this before, was that during November, we actually had $5 million plus sales for the month, but four of them were done within 36 hours. And we had, two sales between 1.7 and 1.8 million, one sale between 1.8 and 1.9 million, a sale between 1.1 and 1.2. And then one of our auctions on Saturday, which certainly surprised all of us, Andrew, a property which you can talk about in Wales Court, which was supposed to be auctioned in 2 weeks' time on the 12th. But we received a really strong offer. You made the decision to bring the auction forward, and we only decided to do that on Friday night at 5 o'clock. Rang all the buyers, auctioned it at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, a property that we were quoting 1 to 1.1, and a super strong offer came in of 1.2 million. So the decision was made to bring it forward because we knew we had other interest. And tell us what the outcome was.
Yeah, Jim, look, it was it's one of those properties there where obviously we had no choice but to bring the auction forward, based on the level of interest that we had on the property and so forth. And I really believe in the auction system for two reasons. Obviously, the process is simple. The buyers are there on the day, and they can transparently see what the other bids are. And I think buyers appreciate that more than anything. And of course, gives the opportunity for the vendors as well to sell the property on the day of the auction and whatnot. So, look, it was a stunning property in a home that I had the privilege of being a part of. And, hats off to the vendors for building such a beautiful home. And we had some really good interest in the course of the campaign. We had a buyer that obviously loved it from the day that they saw it. And was happy to give us a strong offer beforehand, which we, thought that was a good offer too. Hence why we brought the offer auction forward. So quoting 1 to 1.1, super strong offer 1.2. And Friday night, as you mentioned, was a busy night. So. And look, I've spoken to the buyers that registered for Saturday, and give them all a phone call to say thank you, because they were fantastic about it, right? And they knew that it was a beautiful home and was always going to get a good result. But for them, it was more so, I think the mindset of what will someone else pay for that property, to make them feel comfortable with the result, and end up selling for 1,288,000. So. And the buyers, congratulations to the buyers and the vendors, of course. And the buyers were absolutely over the moon, So
yeah, for sure.
So obviously the buyers as well that missed out.
Hang on 1 second.
Just with agents, do you want to put your details on it, or could you want Tony and Stash? Okay, Michael, thank
Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
The joys of being back in the office. Yeah.
And we had, some buyers that missed out, and to this day were slightly disappointed they couldn't purchase it. So,
Yeah.
but a home that again will come on the market every blue moon, just a standout property.
I'll tell you the interesting thing about auctions is people, the emotions that they go through when they're a home buyer is they are looking for a home and they see one they like and then they have to try to buy it. Now, as was the case with this particular one, as an agent, we've got an obligation. Our obligation is to achieve the best possible outcome for our vendor. However, we can never compromise the advice and the service that we provide to a buyer, because without buyers, we're nothing. And the buyers of today become our vendors of tomorrow. So the thing about that particular sale, if you think about it, is, and the reason we're talking about it is because it far exceeded all of our expectations. So all of our professional guidance and homework told us that it should sit somewhere in that 1 to 1.1 range. Now, reality is that the market reacted differently, the buyers reacted differently, and they paid overs from what we all thought. Now, it's very easy for the buyers that missed out to walk away and be angry.
Yeah.
But because of the transparency of the system, because of the fact that we made the decision to be upfront with all of them instead of bullshitting people, as is sometimes the case that we hear throughout our industry, the facts were given to them. They were able to make an informed decision as buyers. They came along, they bid, they knew the opening bid was at 1.2 million because we made it perfectly clear that there's an offer of 1.2 million on the table. So on Friday night, when that offer came in, the first thing we did was change the statement of information that we had online to the price that we'd been offered, which is what we're required to do, and what all agents are required to do, by the way. And that was the opening bid. And then from there on in, off it went. And 55 bids later, it sold for 1,288. That's the market for that particular home. But those buyers walked away, disappointed they'd missed out, but really happy with the process and the fact that we were up front with them. So well done.
Yeah, no, look, it was good to receive a couple of phone calls, even on the Sunday, just to say thanks and so forth. And look, we expected as real estate agents, we're going to get some buyers that aren't going to be happy and so forth. But at the end of the day, you know what? We've all been there. We've all tried to buy homes before, and you walk away disappointed, But it was good to see that everyone that was there, that participant, at the auction was, thankful as well. And they, as I said before, transparent, and that's the way we like to do things, So to make sure. We try to make everyone happy at the same time, but good result there.
Great result there. We had one on Wednesday night, Andrew, Hulme Court, which was really interesting. The fellow that bought that home, we had a number of buyers on that property. The fellow that bought it had never seen it. He reminded me of Danny Wallace on the block the week before. He rocked up, he stood right in front of me, smack in the middle of two other buyers that were competing, and he just kept going and going and going, and he bought it, and he hadn't seen it before, and he bought the property. So that was a really good result. And then whilst you were doing Wales Court, I was at Strzelecki Court with Sash, and that was one that we actually passed in. So just so that people understand the process, we talk about it, and but not very often people get to see it in action. So what happened with that particular property was I called for an opening bid. I got an opening bid. I then placed a vendor bid at the bottom end of our quote range, which was 670. Buyer made another offer at 675. There was no other bids. I passed it into them, congratulated them, and told them they'd have the first right to buy the property. And then about 7 or 8 minutes later, we negotiated and sold that property at 720,000. So that was also a very, very good result. And then from there, Andrew, we went to your listing at Colroyd Place.
Yeah, Colroyd Place. Damien and Donna, they purchased it off me 5 years ago, and had the pleasure of helping them back then, buying the property, of course. And Donna was pregnant back then, and I remember she was jumping up and down to say, calm down a little bit.
And she was on her own too, from memory.
She wasn't on, Damien was busy.
Yeah.
And of course, they have now, had a bit of a sea change, and sold that on Saturday to a great fellow, Gerald. And
lovely fellow.
Yeah, great bloke. And that sold under the hammer as well. And we also had Apollo Court in Hillside,
Yes.
Gorgeous double-story home as well. We had two really strong buyers fighting for that property there, and
Yep.
eventually for 768.
Yep.
And I think, look, the one in Wales Court was a good result, but this one in Mosman was super competitive.
Number five, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Number five, Mosman.
Yeah, 5 Mosman.
In Taylor's Hill.
Yeah, Taylor's Hill. That property there, we're acquiring 720 to 760. 58 bids later, we sold it for $860,300.
Yes.
So that property went super well as well for a four-bedroom home in Taylor's Hill, right? So, yeah, really good result there too.
And that was the battle of $100 bids in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was 860, and the gentleman goes, "Would you take $100?" I'm like, normally I would not do that, but I've seen you do it over the last couple of weeks, and I thought, I'll give it a crack.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, we took the $100, and a couple $100 later, it sold for $860, $300. So
yeah, that's great. So we've got a busy couple of weeks coming up before the slowdown for Christmas, and I should just say, Andrew, before we talk about this Saturday's auctions, that we've decided, whilst we were going through lockdown and with COVID, we all sort of thought that, Christmas is going to look a little bit different this year. But I'm glad to, and I say that on the basis of we thought we won't take any time off, we'll just work straight through. The fact that things have bounced back and rebounded as quickly as they have. And again, for our group, I didn't mention the group results on the weekend. 38 out of 48 sold for 79% were our preliminary numbers. And since then, more properties have sold out of the 10 that got passed in across Melbourne. So I think we're sitting at about 89% at the moment, clearance for last Saturday. But as we head in towards Christmas, we've decided that, every one of our team have been through a tough year like the community has. And, we forget very, very quickly. We forget what all of Victoria has gone through since March this year. We forget how challenging it was for many families. We forget the stress that we all felt for our clients that had to transact, that couldn't transact. And we feel that stress, don't make no mistake. We take it to heart because we feel responsibility to get the job done. And when our hands are tied through no fault of our own, we feel it. And as a consequence, our families feel it as well because we're at home with them and we share our frustrations. Now, the fact that we also forget that the weeks straight after the 29th of September, when we were able to start trading, our team were running close to 400 private inspections every week for the month of October. Sitting at properties from 12 lunchtime till 7 p.m, 7 hours at one property to show people through when we could only show one person at a time for 15 minutes. So fast forward 2 months and we've sort of forgotten all of that we've been through that. But we did it because that's our job and that's what we've got to do. And we have that responsibility to clients that trust us to sell their most valuable asset. But because of those reasons and the extra effort that we've put in, we felt it appropriate that we give our team a break, a proper break, not a lockdown, not a forced lockdown, to give them a break. So we're going to actually close up from the 23rd of December and we're going to open back up on the 4th. Now, our team will be available in between. Everyone's contactable by phone. And so if anybody needs anything, all you need to do is reach out and we'll certainly be able to assist. We're not traveling overseas. Most of us are not traveling interstate. We're all going to be around, so we'll be here to help. So that was just another quick little sidestep. But let's talk about this.
I completely agree. I think if we fast track, what happened, pre-lockdown, and when we went to lockdown, what we thought was going to be, what real estate was going to be like afterwards, I would not have imagined to be this busy. Look, it's good. I look at it and say, from consumers' point of view, the confidence has been absolutely amazing, and the resilience of the market has been fantastic across Melbourne, right? So
Sure.
I think that just shows the strength of the market in Melbourne, and that has been absolutely fantastic. So I think good on the community from just pushing through. Those that purchased property that have now sold as well, they've got confidence to do so, right? And that's obviously kept us very, very busy. And Yeah, I think after the last few auctions of this month, we're all going to be a little bit tired, and a well-deserved break is going to be needed. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's for sure. It gives me a lot of joy, Andrew, walking around the shopping centre and seeing all the businesses open, all the people walking around, carrying shopping bags, right? So people are out there spending because every retailer needs our help. Everyone does, everyone in hospitality, it's so good. We've been out to a few restaurants and it's just wonderful to see people out there working again. And we're hearing reports of a lot of restaurant operators and hotel operators that can't get staff, right? Because traditionally it was a lot of the overseas students that worked those jobs, and they're not here. So look, we need the economy to bounce back. Another good bit of news was that the Mornington Council is allowing camping again from the 1st of January rather than February. So people that have always spent a couple of weeks over summer with their families and friends that they see once a year, pitching their tent or their caravan or whatever on the foreshore, anywhere from Rosebud, Macrae, right through to Blairgowrie, they can do that, which is wonderful. And it allows us to start to get back to some normality, right? To some whatever our new COVID safe normal is going to look like. If it's going to look the way it's looking at the moment, it's pretty good. Yeah.
No, 100%. I think us Melburnians have pushed through. It's been a tough few months, but I am so stoked to see people out and about, and from where we are today, is absolutely amazing. So
for sure.
People.
For sure. Let's talk about this Saturday, Andrew. So we might have a couple of changes, right? But at this stage, we've got a property at 11 a.m. at 6 Lady Nelson Way going to auction. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, just a gorgeous 3-bedroom, 2 separate living areas with a swimming pool as well. Nice big double garage. So that is just super clean. State as well. So basically it's empty and a great first home for people as well. So yeah, looks like we do have some early interest on the property. So I think it's going to change between now and Saturday. So to anyone that's viewing this property, viewing this video, that's viewed the property, just give us a call. But we'll be in touch if anything changes anyway.
And then I'm really looking forward at 12 o'clock, we go to Joy's Place. I say Joy's Place, clients that we've had as clients for a long, long time. Well, actually, we've had them as contacts for a long, long time. We haven't had them as clients. This is the first time we're actually transacting for them. But, a beautiful, beautiful family that have attended our auctions for, my goodness, years. Every time we've done an auction on Apollo Road over the years, they're always there. Every time we're in one of the courts, they're always there. And I've got to tell you, it's on the corner of Colroyd Place where we did the auction last Saturday. And, I really got a good feeling because all the neighbours were across the road. A couple of them had their beers in their hand and they were watching the auction. And then as soon as the guy bought it, they said, come over. They wanted to meet him. They threw a beer in his hand. They welcomed him to the area. And now we've got the neighbours at number 4 Apollo on the corner that we're selling their home. So I'm looking forward to that one, Andrew. And then
they've been there for 37 years, Jim.
Yeah, they have been there for a long time. And then we go to Salvana Court, which is a big, double-story home on 875 square metres. That's at 1 o'clock. And then at 2 o'clock, Andrew, we're at 16 Cunningham Court. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, owner-built home, Georgian style, just gorgeous from the front. Landscaping, backyard's been fully landscaped as well. As I just said, it's been owner-built by the vendors. And it's just class. It is just a beautiful home. And yeah, good luck to whoever buys this property, because I can tell you now that I've known the vendors for a very long time. And if you walk through that property, you haven't been through, Jim, but once you do on Saturday, you'll just look at the quality throughout the property. And look, it's an older property, of course, 17 years. So it's not that old, but it's obviously an older home. But it's just absolutely spotless inside, Maltese vendors. And it should be a good auction. It's a beautiful home.
It'll be pristine. And then at 3 o'clock, we've got 4 Penrose Mews. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, that is a double story on 400 metres square of land. So a small block of land. So more so a lifestyle property for anyone that obviously needs a larger home, but without the maintenance to go with it. It's across the road from the Parks Estate Park. So right across the road from there. And we do have a couple of young families that are interested, which is good. So that is a modern like a townhouse more so than anything else, because obviously on the smart block. But yeah, it's about 32 squares, so it's not a small home by all means. But yeah, on obviously more so a relaxed lifestyle property, I like to call it.
Yeah, that's good. And then, so the message is that, there may be some changes. Some of these properties may get taken off the market before Saturday, and we may add another property from the following week. So from the 12th, we may bring one of our auctions forward. We'll know a little bit more about that in the next 12 to 24 hours, and Andrew and Justin will be in touch. It's one of their listings. They'll be in touch to all the people that have been through the property, if that happens to be the case, because it may be a situation where we've got an offer coming in that will be acceptable, and we've got to be fair to all parties and let them know. So we'll keep you certainly posted with that. And just very quickly, Andrew, we then go to the 12th. The following week, we've got some auctions midweek on the 16th. We've also got auctions scheduled December the 19th, the Saturday, and then we finish the year on the 22nd. I'm just looking at my board in my office where the auctions are noted. So the other message that we just wanted to relay to people is, even though we're going to have a small break between Christmas and New Year, all indicators are pointing to the strength of the market continuing at the moment. So we're suggesting to people to get on now, where we can get our database clients through and get your property sold between December or January. We don't think we're going to see the traditional slowdown that we have every year. Mind you, out here, I've got to tell you, I've been out here for a long time, and January's always been a strong month. It's only slow for people that switch off. For people that don't switch off, it's still busy. People still want to transact. And given the pent-up demand, there's a number of properties that we've listed right now, just over the last week, that aren't going to go live. So they're properties that we've got on our books that we're offering them to database clients. So, give us a call, give Andrew, Justin a call, or any of our team, because now is the time where we're filling our books with properties that we're going to have to launch in January. So get onto us.
And we normally, do a few sales between the Christmas Day and obviously Boxing Day and so forth.
Every year
we do a few deals. So
yeah,
look, we've already got a handful of properties that we've listed, that we've made the call, only for a couple of reasons. Obviously, a couple of things the vendors want to do to the property as well.
Yep.
Might be some gardening work, touch-ups and so forth. And we know that in a couple of weeks' time, there is no point, putting those properties online. So we're holding those properties back. We'll obviously launch those properties as soon as the new year turns. And our vendors are open for offers as well before we even go to market. So a couple of really, really nice homes, especially in Taylors Lakes, Hillside, Taylors Hill, and in all areas, to be honest. So if you're looking around those suburbs, give us a call, because as people know, they check on realtor.com.au and domain.com.au, but we've got plenty of opportunities that are off market too.
And what they should do, Andrew, just following on from that point, is register on barryplant.com.au, where they can see our exclusive off-market opportunities. And just to give you an idea, out of the 46 sales that our team did during November, and it was the same in October. In October, 8 of those sales were what we term off-market, and in November, 7 of them. So almost 20% of our transactions don't hit the internet, right? They don't get listed online. So they're properties that we sell. I'll give you an example. If we have an auction on a weekend and there's 5 bidders, only 1 person buys, the other 4 miss out. Well, those 4 buyers are the first people we're going to contact and offer them a new listing that comes to market before it's launched. And in many cases, we'll get a deal done within a matter of days. And so, register on our site, barryplant.com.au. It's there for a reason.
No, definitely, Jim. And again, as you touched on, it's probably the perfect time now just to give us a call, even if it's just an update, because you're thinking of doing it, say February or March next year. But that comes around very, very quickly. We know that. So we're here to give you some soft advice, and that way you can prepare yourself next year. So looking forward to what is it, Jim? Another 20 days. So of putting a lot of hours in and doing it all for our vendors, of course, and then we can take some time off with our families. So
we certainly can, mate. It's something that we're all looking forward to. But well done again, Andrew and Justin, particularly on outstanding results for November. And we head into December, and Christmas trees are all up, the lights are all on. and
Fantastic. It's good.
and
Loving it.
And the kids are loving it. And I think the message is, as always, we're here, we're available. We've got some of our team back in the office, thankfully, from Monday. Although a number of our team are still working remotely because we can only have a maximum of 10 people in the office at present. And hopefully that changes again. I think there's another announcement scheduled for this Sunday. So hopefully restrictions get relaxed a little bit more and we start to get back to whatever our new normal is going to look like. But other than that, stay well. And thanks again for your time.
Likewise, Jim. Thanks for everyone for tuning in again. And as always, any questions, shoot them through.
Stay well, everyone.
See you guys. Speak to you soon.